don't need 20 friends. You just need 3 motherfuckers and you can take over a country. Okay, that's what we're confused as Americans. We think we need all these motherfuckers. You give me 3 bad motherfuckers and you're finished. You understand me? You're fucking finished because we got each other. And you know, listen, man.
Look alive. Mind Don't Matters podcast. We back in the building.
We are here.
And we ain't paying no goddamn rent.
No.
What's good, people? Welcome back to your favorite podcast. Here for NOV, my brother Nove. I am J Optics. Welcome back to the pod, man. How the hell have y'all been? If you're listening to this podcast sober, then you definitely not like us.
You better man. You better person than me.
If you ain't drinking like we drinking every show or smoking on something, then
you better person than all of us.
This
man.
Relationship between viewer and
listener
entertainment is
not going to work.
It's weird. It
is a little bit.
But yeah, to catch y'all up, man. We took a week off. I was on vacation.
Yeah,
I was not in the country.
And
I heard you had a little something to say about that. You did not like the fact that I had put my passport on pivot.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It wasn't, you know what? It wasn't anything like negative. It was just, you know, I'm allowed to be a hating ass nigga every once in a while. So,
every once in a while, you know what I mean?
You know, I might have said, you know what? I enjoyed my brother being out the country. You know, I hope he get his feet wet, you know, sand, toes, all that. But I damn sure hope you came back with like a crab in your shoe. I was really.
Yeah, I feel like one of the job requirements for being a homie is like you got to be like a real good hater. Absolutely. Whenever one of your homies is going on vacation. Oh yeah, it's like all the good comments on the pictures that get posted, but in the sides it kind of on some shit like if you don't get your funky ass back on the mainland,
what the fuck you got this shirt off for?
But yeah, man, I stayed at the Unico. I was in Cancun.
Oh man,
yo, no exaggeration, hands down the single best resort I've ever been to in my life.
Hands down.
And this shit ain't even fucking close.
Really? All right, now you gotta talk about it.
You know why? Let me tell you why it was so good, or how good it was. It was so good. The food was good at an all-inclusive resort. They was giving out good free food.
Wow.
And I never had that at a resort before in my life.
Yeah, usually resort food be trash.
It be trash and the portions be like sus. Yeah. But yo, they had a good ass hibachi spot. They had a good ass Italian spot. This breakfast spot was good. Let's not get started on the fucking tequila. The welcome drink was good as hell. I said, oh, we starting off like this? Welcome to the resort. Here's your drink. I'm like, give me this bullshit. I know how this shit go. I drunk that motherfucker. I said,
oh, all right.
Debauchery.
Okay.
I said y'all into that.
All right.
But no, I had a great time, man. Me and the wife got low for a little bit.
Nice.
Room was great, so it was good to, you know, spin the block right quick.
Nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, I'm good, man. How the hell you been?
I ain't been out the country, but you know, nigga been good. You know what I mean? Can't call it. It's been a fun week though. You know what I mean? It's been fun holding down the home team over here. You know, it's been straight. Can't call it.
What's your number at? Mental health check.
Ooh, you know what? I've had even flows, but now I'm at about an 8.7. I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good.
8.7 is a pretty good number.
Yeah, I'm good.
Pretty good number.
Where you at?
I'm at like a 9.1 or something like that. I'm at a 9.1, man. Everything good. Baby's getting closer to coming here.
Yes, sir.
We got less than 2 months now, so
yeah.
He's on the way, man. I'm excited about everything.
On the way.
I'll tell you while I'm not at 10, though. If I could tell a quick little... Y'all might find it funny out there, but it ain't funny to me.
Oh, man.
When I was growing up, there was 2 brands of deodorant in the crib, bro. We had Speed Stick or we had Mitchum. And if you had one or the other, don't turn your face up crazy.
The fuck?
If you had one or the other, you was good.
You ain't believe in right guard?
No.
No degree?
No.
What?
For what? Why choose those when you can just have the best?
Because who the fuck is using Mitchum?
Let me tell you something.
The fuck?
You put on a single serving of Mitchum, you don't got to put on no deodorant for another 6 weeks, bro.
Right.
If that shit clogs your pores, you ain't got to worry about yourself smelling for at least 6 weeks.
Oh, God.
7.5 if you like keeping yourself clean or some shit like that. But I say all that to get to my point. These fucking deodorants nowadays,
trash,
bro. Yeah, they are fucking trash, and they do not hold up to the prices that they fucking charge for this shit. Tell me, I'm pretty sure you've been shopping at Target or CVS, whatever that. You ran across this brand Native, right? It's like an organic brand. They do like body wash, deodorant.
I've seen it.
Shit like that.
I've seen it. I've never thought to even attempt to grab it.
They charging $13, $14 for deodorant now.
And that's why.
A small stick.
No.
Bro, I tried that. This shit started back on Thanksgiving. They put out like holiday specials. You know how I like eggnog, right?
Yeah.
They had an eggnog flavored deodorant. And I thought it'd be a great idea to try that shit. They all smelling like raw eggs.
I was about to say, time out. You actually thought that was a good
I thought it was a great idea, bro. And they ain't put out no good ones. Yo, I be out in the world having to do a little check right quick. And I be like, I don't be liking what I be finding sometimes. Where is the good old fashioned aluminum, terracotta clay deodorants from back in the day that you can just put on to be good for 2 weeks?
Bro, Arm & Hammer for the win.
Okay.
Arm & Hammer for the win.
I use a toothpaste, so I'm gonna have to switch on.
Arm & Hammer for the win. Either that, or if you want to get, I guess, technically fancy, you can go to Old Spice.
Old Spice, no, we can't. No, Old Spice, no.
But you can't do like
the gentleman's blend and all that.
No. You can't get fancy. You gotta get straight meat and potatoes Old Spice, like the one where it's like, yo, this Old Spice, like that one.
I fuck with the body washes, but nah, dog.
Yeah, the body washes.
I can't rock out with the. They didn't have me looking stupid out here. I can't front.
Yeah.
But, hey, man, this is not a dry show.
Nah.
Of course, we always drinking.
Nah.
And guess who got the bottle this week? No, what's up?
Oh, man, you know me, man. I'm a simple man. When it all come down to it, I'm a simple man. I believe in strong liquor, good food, have a few laughs, shit like that. What better way to get that started? You got to have some good fucking bourbon.
No, this nigga didn't.
So, apologize, pardon my French, but the name of the liquor is actually called Good Fucking Bourbon.
I, as a witness in this very room with my eyes, can confirm that the name of this fucking bourbon whiskey is called Good Fucking Bourbon.
And on the back it says, if you're going to call something good fucking bourbon, it better be good fucking bourbon. That right there, I'm not even gonna lie. When I saw that, I was like, oh yeah. And peep this. They say this at the end. I shit you not. If you think I'm lying, Google it. One sip is all you need to know. This is good fucking bourbon.
Oh, they done quadrupled down on good fucking bourbon. Is this shit made in Tennessee?
Buddy.
Handcrafted in the USA, 80 proof, y'all. So this is slightly lower proof than the Uncle Nearest that we had last show.
Oh man, that double juice.
But this is actually from Panther Distillery, Osaka, Minnesota. I never had whiskey from Minnesota, at least as far as I know. But yo, it really says good fucking bourbon whiskey in this motherfucker.
We're about to find out if it's good fucking bourbon.
All right, so let's test it out.
Yo, for everybody that listens to us, shout out these bourbon brands and everything else every week. Please put a fucking word out. Like, yo, can we get a fucking liquor sponsorship?
Yes.
Like, please?
Yeah.
Like.
And the deodorant one, too.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little bit lied to. Not so much lied to. Want to know what it is? It's not lied to. But I feel like with the amount of dark liquor and bourbon and whiskey we drink, there's
levels.
A level and a lot in the library as far as like, oh, this is good. This reminds me of this. This is lacking a few things.
Yeah, this is if you grew up on Frosted Flakes and then you go buy like a Target store brand or Whole Foods organic,
you buy the sugar flakes,
you get like sugar flakes,
or you get like sugar oats and shit.
So you know how like Frosted Flakes, they got that slogan like they're great. This is alright. So I say good fucking bourbon. Y'all have to change the label to like okay. It's okay bourbon.
It's alright.
It's some good and okay.
It's alright bourbon.
It's some good and okay bourbon right here, man.
We'll just have to have a meme like,
It's got like a fruit element to it that's like not really sitting well with like the bourbon flavor that you want. But
yeah, it's trying, but it's not you know,
it ain't there.
We're gonna start something up new this week. All right, so 1 to 10.
1 to 10. Okay, I would give it a 5.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I give it a 5.
That's where I'm at. 5.
Yeah, so
5.
I guess we have a new low. But
no,
thank you.
No.
Oh no. We've had worse.
Fuck
We had
don't.
worse. We had worse, but we didn't
No,
rank
we
it.
don't.
We didn't rank it. So
with everything that's being said, I need y'all to understand. Don't think we're not about to drink this shit throughout the whole show.
Oh, keep in mind, it's going to get the job done. It is 80 proof after all.
Yeah, we don't waste liquor on this show.
Speaking of getting the job done, special shout out, $250,000 donation made by one NBA player, Zion Williamson, to some kids who were lacking uniform funds for kids who can't afford to, get jerseys to participate in youth sports and stuff like that. So shout out to him. I mean, Zion is definitely putting in work. Mm-hmm. He definitely putting in some goddamn work. So, in case y'all have not been brought up to speed or been paying attention to the internet or not in NBA circles, bro, my man, dude Zion Williamson last week pops up all over social media. He's at a gender reveal party. Newsflash, it's his.
Congrats.
Him and his baby mother. They put out a video with a gender reveal. They had a big party at the crib or wherever they was at. And it was beautiful, man. I thought it was great. The biggest thing I took away from him, like, congratulations about the baby, but I'm looking at the shape that's Zion Williamson. I'm like, yo, the dude actually looks slim.
Look like he been working out.
Actually been working out. Stayed off the shrimp etouffee. So I'm like, yo, cool. Yeah. We about to get Zion back next year. Going to be good.
Jumping high, running fast, all that.
And boy, shit turned fast real goddamn quick.
Yeah, it got dark.
As soon as that video touched online.
Got dark.
A model turned adult entertainment actress by the name of Mariah Mills. Y'all might be familiar with that if y'all familiar with Pornhub.
We being real generous with these labels, but go ahead.
I'm trying.
Continue.
I'm trying.
Go ahead. We being generous. Go ahead.
I'm trying. Mariah Mills apparently thinks she has something to say about this whole him having a baby by this other porn star.
Oh, no, she definitely spoke on it.
Oh, yeah. Zion Williams' baby mother is also in the industry as well.
And she's also, isn't she Boosie's baby mother as well or something like that?
I don't know that to be a fact.
I'm not sure. I believe so, but I'm not sure.
I don't know that to be a fact.
Don't confirm or deny.
Yeah, I don't know that to be a fact. But Mariah Mills, she just started putting out a whole bunch of receipts online. She says, oh, you was just spitting in my mouth while we was fucking last week. You failed to mention that you had a baby mother. You moved me out to here. You moved me out here to New Orleans and failed to mention that you had another chicken here that she was trying to get knocked up and all this other good jazz. And she starts putting out these Twitter receipts, tweets after tweets.
We got the receipts.
Tweets.
We got the receipt.
One of the tweets says, well, a couple of the tweets say, I warned you about trapping these type of hoes, Zion Williamson, and you didn't listen to me. I know the fucking game, and congrats again. The bill was too high, so you had to scrap for crumbs, and when you couldn't see me or I was busy. Another tweet says, you're putting my life in danger, fucking all these hoes raw.
Wait.
She also says, I let you fuck me so many times without a condom, and this is what you do to me? A hood rat that does CPN? She says, I was with you in New Orleans last week, and you couldn't tell me you had a random thought pregnant after all I've done for you.
Wow.
And then here's the fatal blow right here, dog. I hope. She says, better pray I'm not pregnant too, because I'm definitely late right now. Baby Thanos, you got some explaining to do, Playboy.
All right. There's so much to unpack. It's so messy.
It's wild.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. Like, I really don't. It's like, all right, we know what she does for her profession. And, a lot of people in that profession are safe, or they use safety, or they try to.
Yeah.
So I get the, you could have put my life in danger part, but everything else just kind of sounds like you got that bitch pregnant and not me.
Yeah.
And it's really like all the things I've done for you. Like, bitch, do you not remember who the fuck this is? Like, when was the last, you know what? We don't really like to do this here. When was the last time you was like, yo, You saw that new Mariah Mills scene? Never.
Nah.
Not never.
I ain't gonna lie. I run across it.
I have too.
I just never clicked on it.
I actually ran across it after this because I was like, oh shit, that's right, Mariah Mills. Yeah. I was like,
not my flavor. Not for me.
But then I saw it. I was like, oh.
Not for me.
All right.
Now, Zion baby mother, on the other hand.
Yeah.
It's a little something there.
Golf clap.
I'm not gonna lie. There's something
Golf
there.
clap.
And she got hands too. She was whipping some chick ass.
She got the paws?
She definitely got hand sandwiches for anybody who wanted and shit. But I would say this, though. A lot of people online are saying Zion Williamson is in his early 20s.
Yeah.
Imagine what you would be doing when you had the world at your fingertips. Like, instead of going home and watching Pornhub or fucking in a Playboy magazine, you could really DM any chick and have her over to your crib the same night. You probably would be making some mistakes too. Like,
absolutely.
Okay, I get that part.
Absolutely.
But like we always say on Mind Don't Matters, there are levels to this shit.
There are.
You aren't just like a guy that rides the bench in the NBA.
Mm-mm.
Like, you got your own signature shoe with Nike. I mean, Air Jordan, my dude. Like, you are a person who perennial all-star, future Hall of Famer type shit.
We don't know that. He ain't playing enough yet, but I hear you. Go ahead.
Potential, I said.
Okay.
Can y'all motherfuckers not take clues from LeBron James? LeBron James is either the most faithful motherfucker of all time, or he's the most discreet motherfucker of all time.
Sidebar.
Pick one.
I was about to say sidebar. Which way we going?
I think LeBron James is the most discreet motherfucker of all time. Do your thing, Playboy.
Hey,
but with all that being said, though, his wife bad, so he may not even see nothing worth the time, whatever like that. All I'm saying is this. When you Zion Williamson, when you some of these other star athletes, and you got your pick of the litter, when you have the whole litter to pick from, why y'all just can't pick some chicks that be quiet?
Nah.
Why you just can't pick some chick that keep her mouth shut? You pick chicks that who for a living is trying to garner attention for every single thing they do.
Yeah.
And when you fuck them over, or when they feel fucked over, you don't think that this is what's going to happen?
Everything is clout. Come on, son. Everything is clout.
This shit is embarrassing for him.
It is.
I hate that it's happening for him.
I'm going to take a quick sidebar on some real quick pop-up news.
If it's true, by the way.
Might be much to do or not about nothing. We don't know. But you seen your man Shaq taking Brittany Renner out for Night on Town?
Come on, Shaq.
We don't know exactly what for.
For what, Shaq?
We don't know. But
a business opportunity?
I mean, let's not act like Shaq ain't been in this situation before.
Yeah, he's with Hoops. Yeah. Flavor of Love and shit like that.
So, you know, it's not exactly outside the realm.
Yeah,
but, you know, we dealing with Brittany, see you in 9 months Renner.
Yeah. But it's nothing to, I just don't get I don't get the allure of her. Like, even looks aside, everything that she brings to the table as far as like what could potentially be bad, it's like, why would you even waste your time with that if you have like all these other options at your disposal? She must talk a hell of a fucking game.
I was about to say, you got to also remember Shaq about what, 40?
Yeah.
Maybe 40 something? 50?
Yeah. Probably mid-40s.
She probably what, 30-ish, give or take?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, it's, you know, as we said once before, you know, off air and shit, like, you know, you gotta look at a man's options before you start, you know.
That's my thing though. You 40, but you're Shaq though. So like, how do you even get into how does a girl like Brittany Renner even get into the same room with Shaquille O'Neal?
Somebody
I really don't get it, bro.
Somebody put it there.
If you smashing, cool, but like, y'all motherfuckers going out to dinner with each other? Like, come on, son. Y'all are fucking up the game that the elders set.
But we don't know. We don't know. All I know is it was a weird ass little screenshot that I saw. I was like, oh, all right, that's interesting.
Maybe they're working on something together.
Who knows?
I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna assume or whatever.
What else you got?
But speaking of people messing with each other,
all right,
I need to know if you messing with a female, is there an age gap limit for you? Because I don't know if you heard. But it's rumored that your girl, R&B singer Khalees, famous for, you know, the Milkshake song and also being Nas's baby mother.
That's my bull. That's my baby.
Has been romantically linked to one actor, Bill Murray, with a 30-year age gap in between them. I think it might be 40 years, actually. I think Bill Murray's 72 and she might be 40 something.
Hey man, listen. I'm gonna say this one time and one
Bill
time.
Murray 72, Khalees is 43.
I'm gonna say this one time and one time only. There's a lot of people I'll sit up here and I'll shun, and I'll discredit. Bill Murray ain't one of them.
I'm happy for this.
Bill Murray ain't one of them.
God damn it, God.
Bill Murray
damn it,
ain't motherfucking one of them. If anybody gets a goddamn pass on this fucking show, it's Bill fucking Murray.
You don't need no pass right now. Good job, sir.
Good job. Listen, we done sat here and watched both leading actors in Heat have babies well into their 90s. So I'm not about to sit up here. God, yeah. Not about to sit up here and go at Bill Murray for bagging Khalees. Good job.
Who was it? Al Pacino
and Robert De Niro.
And Robert De Niro, both expecting newborns this year.
Tender age of 110.
Okay. The vampires got to keep the progenies going. And
listen, man.
Anywho, but yeah, there is some speculation that they might be kind of linked over a little bit of trauma that they both share. She lost her husband, and he lost his wife.
Yeah.
So it might be something there. But nah, man.
Hey, man.
On Khalees' end, I'm kind of like, huh? But on Bill Murray's end, good fucking job,
Listen,
sir.
man, I'm still single out here, so I'm rooting for everybody. Almost everybody. Almost everybody.
Tell me this. I'm not sure if you knew much about the case before I brought it up, but are you rooting for Travis Rudolph? Because this man has just been acquitted of any possible charges. He was facing a murder trial for a shooting incident from April 2021. He's a former NFL player. If y'all don't know what happened, he had gotten into a little bit of a domestic dispute with his girl, Dominique Jones, and it was caught on the Ring doorbell camera that, she had struck him, and after he had called her a bitch, get this crazy bitch out of here, she went through his phone and found some text messages saying that he was telling another bitch that you're more sexy than her. She didn't like that.
Of course not.
So I guess he was trying to get out the crib. She swung on him. He kind of like pushed her off and trying to save himself, get back in the crib. She goes and texts her brothers, come shoot his shit up. Or shoot this shit up. Or
some shit like that, yeah.
Brothers sent back the text message like, oh, what happened? All right, cool. Travis is a dead man. Brother brings over 3 other dudes. They knocking on the door. They looking for issues. A fist fight ensues. In the midst of that, a gun is brandished by one of the 4 gentlemen that came to the crib, and they're jumping Travis's brother. Travis runs into the crib, comes back with an AR, and as they're hopping in their car, lets off 39 shots, striking her brother, I think once, and he eventually passed away, unfortunately. So Dominique Jones was being questioned. She testified that she never intended for her brother and his friends to hurt Rudolph. She says that when she texted her brother to shoot up his shit after learning of the football player's apparent infidelity back when she was on the stand, that she meant that when I said shoot his shit up, I didn't mean shoot him. So the person asking the question is like, well, what did you mean? She says anything but him. So she said, oh, like his house or his brother or maybe his mother. Like, oh, no. Just like property.
Nah, man. Because you can't, like, all right, viewers out there, listeners, ask yourself this question. I want you real quick. Close your eyes, right? I want you to open your eyes to a text message that say shoot his shit up. And I want you to be able to specifically know exactly what the fuck that meant. Like, no, you meant what the fuck you meant. Shoot his shit up.
Yeah.
They came, jumped his brother. Somebody had a gun. He went upstairs. Okay. Cool.
Something about the size of it.
All right.
Somebody fucked
Come
around.
back downstairs. Like, for those of y'all that don't know and haven't been listening, whatever, Nova is a lot of things. And we just going to leave it at that. We ain't even got to go into it, all that. Just hope you never got to call AAA. I'm going to just leave it there.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, if a similar situation ever happened here, yeah, expect the same action.
Yeah.
Expect the same action. Like, yeah.
This is a classic case of sometimes when you fuck around,
Find out.
you're going to find out the consequences.
Fuck around and find out.
So it's really a sad story that somebody had to lose their life. I don't know if any of you listening to the show have been following along with the trial and the video clips that has come out about the trial, but the shit that is like so infuriating about the trial is one, the attitude of this chick, Dominique Jones, towards all the lawyers and the judges, and her brother's attitude. They've been very like,
feel like they ain't do nothing wrong.
Next question.
Yeah.
Like what?
Feel like they ain't do nothing wrong.
Like being very condescending, very like argumentative with the judge and the lawyers or whatever like that, calling lawyers by their first names. Like, oh, well, you tell me, John. I don't know. Like, this bitch is like, she don't even get it. She lost her brother and she's still like on some like, oh, whatever. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, well, she comes off like very like narcissistic.
All right, so in that case, let me shoot some bell real quick. Still might be in an emotional place. And I'm not saying this to completely absolve her of anything else. But, you know, people grieve differently. People see things differently after some shit like that happens.
True.
But you got to have somebody on your team and your family like, yo.
Show some remorse here?
Chill the fuck out. Like, because one can say, and I'm not here sponsoring or anything else, domestic violence. I know it's a real thing. I'm not here sponsoring or anything else like that. I want to put that out there. But you did send the text and you did strike this man first, did you not? So let's play this out the other way. Come shoot his shit up. So what happens if they shoot his shit up and everybody in the house? And everybody gone? Then what? Because it still links back to you. This is why I don't understand why people do a lot of talking on text messages. I don't get the shit.
It's convenient.
Yeah, but
my thing is this, bro.
Nah.
This is my thing. There's an internet personality in a podcast that I did that y'all might be familiar with called Don't Call Me White Girl.
Shout out to you. Love
she's her. Funny as hell.
I love her.
But the one thing I love about her, she keep the shit funky as hell. Especially when it comes to like
real shit.
Real shit, like between like how motherfuckers should conduct themselves.
Yeah.
And she dropped a bar a long time ago that really plays now. And she says like, yo, a lot of times when there's beef in the streets, gun violence in the streets, a lot of times there's a female that's running her mouth behind that shit, bro. 9 times out of 10. Yeah. What is it about some of these females out here that's when y'all in y'all feelings or when y'all hurt, y'all say stuff and y'all do stuff and y'all are completely oblivious to the consequences that those actions could have. Y'all really think that when a motherfucker be on some shit like, yo, that dude is a dead man, that shit don't weigh on your conscience that you might be talking about somebody that is willing to go all the way? Yeah. And if they willing to go all the way, you're going to run into a motherfucker that's willing to go all the way. Somebody going to lose their life that night. Other side of that is... How do you sleep at night? Yeah, the other side of that is also like, yo, stop running to go get motherfuckers thinking them the only motherfuckers that got shit. Exactly. Like... Yeah. All right, so what happens if you send these motherfuckers on a dummy mission? Hey, yo, he did this, do that. And the motherfuckers don't come back. No. And now you got to answer the hard questions to his moms and his sister and his brother. Like, what happened? That's a classic line in the hood, bro. I'm going to get my brother. I'm going to get my uncle. I'm going to get my father. I'm going to get my cousin. I'm going to get my nephew. I'm going to get my boyfriend to come fuck you up. Stop volunteering motherfuckers for fucking body bags y'all ain't built for. Like, stop. That shit annoying. I hate it, man. That shit's trash. Got another one, actually. What's up? I got another sidebar. I don't know if you peeped this. Do you think it's possible Byron or whatever his name from Fresh and Fit killed their podcast on purpose? Fresh and Fit is dying? Yeah. If you haven't seen it, yeah. I mean, you know, we don't shed tears around here for them. So, you know, they had it back and forth with Abba and Preach. Shout out Abba and Preach again. The homies. But
You know, they're going back and forth over some shit that's minute at the end of the day. So this nigga Myron decided to hop on his other homie's podcast and basically be racist and a total fucking idiot for about 10, 15 minutes straight.
That was Sneeko.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I get... Nah, let me stop. At the end of the day, I don't get none of that shit. Because it's like, yo, are you that insecure or that, like, oblivious to the fact, like, dog, get your money, do whatever the fuck you gotta do, leave them the fuck alone because they're clearly bad for your health. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, why is it so hard for motherfuckers to shut the fuck up?
This dude, is he fresh or is he fit?
Would it be bad if I say I can't tell them niggas apart? Nah, honestly, I feel like he's fresh. I
think he looks like the one that's probably fit, though. Because he ain't like a former military or police or some shit like that.
Fit the quiet motherfucker.
All right. I would say without seeing any videos, I would say good. I hope the show's over. One, because the show is trash. All right. They don't got no good moments that I've heard of. And then two, even if the show was to remain, the quiet dude on your show, what the fuck is he there? What is he there for?
Sidebars. Mostly sidebars. But it's weird because, like, I've never... Let's keep it all the way 100, right?
Right.
So you called out these motherfuckers to have a boxing match, right? They agreed. And you said, nah, no need for violence, just playing. Then you proceed to copyright strike a lot of shit. That's the one bitch made thing you did. Then, after that, after it's clear, like, you don't want to smoke, then you proceed to talk more about these niggas. Like, why? 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 At some point, wouldn't it hit you like, you know what? Maybe we should leave these motherfuckers the fuck alone. And then you do this shit, and it's just like, bruh, like, yo, I by no means will say I'm a gangsta ass nigga in no way, shape, or form. I will say this, though. If you challenge me to some bullshit or you say some wild shit, like, yeah, you got to see me and you got to stand on that.
You got to.
But, like, yo, I don't understand these motherfuckers, yo. I don't get it.
I didn't hear about that one, bro.
Yo, I don't.
That's wild.
I don't get it. And
Long live Ab and Preach.
Facts.
Fuck all. They look like they could throw hands, too. I ain't gonna front.
Facts.
Which one, was it ABBA? Ain't ABBA like a dancing ass motherfucker? Them dancing ass niggas, they know how to throw hands, bro.
No.
And then Preach did like security back in the day? No. Nah, come on, son.
No. We fuck with Abba and Preach. No.
Yeah.
No.
So, make a little bit of a hard turn here as we get into today's show.
Yeah.
Some rest in peace announcements have to be made. We have to talk about the unfortunate passing of one Miss Jackie O, real name Jacqueline Smith. She died at the age of 32. She was undergoing a quote unquote mommy makeover after she just had, I think she just had a child. Yeah. Not too long ago. But yeah, she went to go see this Dr. Zach down in Miami, real name Zachary Oka, for a mommy makeover. She was posting online about it too, man. She was taking pictures with the dude saying like, I'm about to see him, catch y'all when I'm done, and kind of documenting her journey on her YouTube channel and all this other good jazz. The part that hurts about it is it's levels to it. One part that hurts is I remember seeing a clip of her online where she had made mention to the fact that she had people in her ear that was saying like, yo, you shouldn't have to do any plastic surgeries. Look at you. Like, you look fine. Yeah. Like, why? And she kind of came back with this my body, my choice type situation. Like, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't give a fuck. Blah, 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 blah. Now that that has happened, it kind of like, that shit kind of like, it didn't age well. Number two, if indeed the procedure that she was getting done involved a BBL, I'm sorry. Any ladies out there listening to the show, is that shit really fucking worth it? Because to be quite honest with you, like, the risk that I see, that I've read, that is associated with that particular surgery, if you ain't going to somebody that's like tip top, like a veteran and doing like hella BBLs and having healthy patients after the fact, it seems like it's not worth the risk, love. Like, I know a lot of times these chicks get sponsors to pay for this shit or dudes to pay for this shit, but it really don't seem like it's worth it. She went to a doctor that already had people who had complaints about him or was about to take him to court for like hurting them in the past. So like, why are you going to this dude in the first place? And of course, the obvious part that hurts is she leaves behind 3 kids.
Yeah.
And a family that I'm pretty sure loves her dearly. She comes off like, I don't know her personally, obviously, but for what I've seen of her online and her videos and her YouTube channel, she seemed like a very family oriented, God-fearing woman. She was beautiful. I remember telling my wife in the crib, like, why the hell would she even need a mommy makeover? I don't see it, but I think it brings up a great conversation about how you never know how deep people's insecurities run, or how sometimes outside pressure, professionally or personally, can play a factor in your mental makeup as far as like, this thing about me has to be perfect, or my image has to be at a certain spot, or I might fall behind all the competition out there. It's such a fucking arms race on attention and beauty out there that people are willing to do whatever. We even seeing dudes out there getting surgeries to make themselves taller. And it's like, my dude.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say it took me a while to wrap my head around this, but I know a couple of people have gone through it and have done it. And it's not necessarily always about outside noise. More so, a lot of times, as a lot of us have, like you said, our insecurities or whatever else may be, a lot of it is internal, or what you see in the mirror every day, regardless of what everybody else sees. So, in that forum, it is what it is. Like, I've kind of allowed myself to be realistic in the form of, if you want to do something, do it. But I do feel like now more than ever, and a lot of people have been, getting their BBLs taken out and, all of that. Like, I think now it's more so like, the risk associated with it. You got to look at risk versus reward, like the greater good, I guess, at the end of the day. And it's just a matter of whatever you planning on doing, just be safe and just know the consequences. Like you said, leaves behind 3 children. And shout out DC Young Fly. I know that's not easy either.
Yeah, man. Being a single dad.
Yeah, and I know people been coming out left and right saying all weird shit and all
Azalea
that.
Banks.
Like,
Azalea Banks, the worst of them all, yo.
Can I have a minute?
The devil's incarnate.
Can I have a minute?
I'll give you 1 or 2. Why not?
All right. Yeah, when she stepped out of a fucking crook of a ladder and decided to, go all crazy, it's like, yo, you gotta be a low motherfucking person to take a shot now.
Can I read it for you?
Yes, please.
Azalea Banks posted on her Instagram. She says, damn, DC Young Fly spent years disguising his own deeply rooted hatred of self as jokes pointed at women's beauty, projecting his own feelings about his own ugliness onto women perfectly secure in their own skin. Say what you want about my tears. This is when she was crying on Wild 'N Out. Say what you want about my tears. They were pure tears of rage and not at all a sign of weakness, because in the end, I won. I'm happy I cried and moved on. That Jackie old girl must have been so deeply insecure about herself. And the nerve of DC to call such a gorgeous woman as Azalea Banks ugly on national television while a bunch of black people laughed.
Yeah, fuck that.
If anybody who doesn't know, Azalea Banks was on Wild 'N Out one time, and DC Young Fly roasted the hell out of her, and she cried on national television.
He ain't even really roast that. Man, listen, yo. We all grown, yo. We all grown. And you volunteered to be on a show that is notorious for roasting people.
Motherfuckers, yeah.
So what the fuck did you expect, man? Grow the fuck up.
Have you no idea about comedy? Like, where is your antennas at?
Grow the fuck up. For you to take a shot now and crawl out of your cave and decide to kick somebody when they down when they going through this shit, man.
But in the words of Aber and Priest, though, mental health. Azalea Banks is clearly not all the way well, not all the way right. So anytime she speaks, I'm not expecting anything like that I could take to the bank that has any merit to it at all. So she's obviously struggling with something, but her timing is tacky. Like so fucking tacky and fucking like
shit.
Like a low life. I can't stand her. She come off as like scum. I really can't stand her. So, you know what I mean? Bless up to DC Young Fly, his family, Jackie O's family. Prayers and condolences from the Mono Matters family.
Yeah.
Through this trying time, man. But we got to get another rest in peace in too as well, man. And rest in peace. We missed talking about it before our last show.
Yeah.
The Queen of Rock, Tina Turner. People who are in a younger generation might not know her for music, might know her from the movie that we're going to review today. What's Love Got to Do with It? But yeah, man, what a pioneer artist and woman in the game. She was a singer. I think she had she started in the 50s, late 50s, and she just spanned decades, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. She was a force, man. I remember growing up on her, playing on my TV in the crib. My father listened to her music. 12-time Grammy Award winner, including the only woman to have ever won a Grammy in pop, rock, and R&B. Over 100 million, some people say 150 million records sold worldwide. She got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice and the Soul Music Hall of Fame. A lot of people might know her from the movie. And she's probably more popular for her relationship with Ike Turner.
Yeah.
Which was depicted in the movie loosely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what a force, man. You know what I love about music? Is every once in a while, a lot of people do music. Shit, we've done music in the past.
Yeah.
A lot of people do music. Every once in a while, you will get a voice that comes along and it's sort of like, oh, I know who that person is.
Yeah.
Or that person is like so iconic that whenever their record plays, you're like, yeah, that's Tina Turner. Yeah, that's ODB. Or that's Biggie. Or whatever like that. It's just like a uniqueness about they like icons. And she was an icon for sure.
Definitely was.
Big rest in peace, man, to Tina Turner. She passes away at the age of 84. And she passed away in Switzerland. She became a native. She became a Switzerland national a couple years ago. So, yeah, man, rest in peace. And with that being said, that is a movie that we're going to be reviewing today and having a discussion about emotional and psychological damage and abuse in relationships. And we're going to be using the template of the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, a 1993 movie starring Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne, and Jennifer Lewis. And yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So, of course, you know me. Anytime we do a movie, I got to come up with the little known facts.
Yeah, what you
things you might not have known about the film.
What you got?
I got three of these damn things.
Trio.
So, playing Tina Turner was a very, very sought after role. We all know that Angela Bassett got the part, and she did a fantastic job.
Yes.
But she had some heat on her ass to get that role, bro. Did you know that the following list of females also auditioned for this role? Halle Berry, Robin Givens, Whitney Houston. That would have been interesting. Janet Jackson and Vanessa Williams. Now, some of these I'm glad didn't get it. Didn't want Halle Berry to get this because I could not see Halle Berry in this. Could not see Vanessa Williams in this.
Nope.
And surprisingly, I couldn't see Janet Jackson in this either. She just gives off a little bit too much of a timidity for Tina Turner is concerned. But Whitney and Robin Givens. But Whitney Houston?
Yeah, buddy.
That would have been
very interesting.
But I got one bonus one for you, too.
What you got?
I got one bonus one for you, too. There was another woman in the movie that auditioned for Tina Turner and didn't get the role, and it was Jennifer Lewis. Tina Turner's mother. That would have been great, too, because Jennifer Lewis actually could sing. She could dance. And as far as I'm concerned, like, if I crush on any elder woman, it's Jennifer Lewis. Like, I fucking love her, yo.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Oh, man, I love her. I love her. But yeah, she originally auditioned to play Tina Turner, but ended up playing Tina Turner's mother.
Wow. Yeah.
But did you know that despite playing Angela Bassett's mother in this movie, at the time of this recording, in this movie, and since then, Jennifer Lewis is only 2 years older than Angela Bassett.
I was about to ask, how much older is she?
It's only a 2-year difference.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Shout out to both of them.
Yeah.
But Angela Bassett, I don't know what kind of
BDC.
I don't know what kind of shit she be tapped into.
BDC.
What's that, Jake? For the people that don't know.
Black don't crack.
Black do not fucking crack.
Black don't crack.
And she got the Teflon black. My God.
Yeah.
And last but not least, did y'all know that in this movie there was a lot of physical abuse, if you haven't seen it, to say the least. Angela Bassett was actually injured during the filming of this movie. There was a scene, the first scene that there was abuse in. I think it was in the house during a pool party or something like that.
Yeah.
During that scene, she has said to have fallen off the back of a sofa. She fell off the back of a sofa.
Yeah.
She put her hand down to break her fall and fractured her right hand.
Wow.
So the physical violence actually took a toll in real time. Tina Turner would be proud of her performance.
Wow.
She really stepped into the role for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some little known facts that you might not have known about the movie What's Love Got to Do with It. So we transition from that to talking about emotional abuse, which is very, very prevalent in this movie to go along with the physical abuse. Now, physical abuse is something that's like a lot of people can see it. You know, we've all probably seen instances where women have, you know, put on the makeup to cover up the black eye, cover up the scar, putting the sunglasses on and all this other good stuff, hiding the shiner and shit. Physical abuse is like one thing. But to me, from my personal experience of being around it growing up as a kid, it's the emotional and psychological abuse that happens in relationships that really chip away at your psyche, like in a bad way. And you can see it clear as day in this film that puts a big emphasis on telling the story of Ike and Tina Turner. Yeah. Now, for the interest of full disclosure, this movie, which was based off a memoir that Tina Turner had wrote back in the day called I, Tina, the movie is loosely based off the memoir and actual real life accounts of what happened. So there's a lot of false things inside the movies. There's a couple stuff that they got right as well. But the gist of the movie really hits home that Ike was an abusive piece of shit to Tina. And he was also a narcissistic sociopath in this movie and in real life as well. So we felt like it'd be a great opportunity for us to have a discussion about how situations like this play in real life. Yeah. I don't know what your history is when it comes to experiencing emotional abuse, maybe seeing it in an elder or your parents' relationship, or maybe encountering it in relationships that you've had. But I know I've seen it growing up, and it definitely leaves certain marks on you as a child of like, if I ever saw that in a relationship that I was in, I know something is going wrong here. So we thought it'd be a good idea to bring up a few things, which is what are some examples of emotional abuse? What's some ways that you could spot it in your relationship or someone that is around you? And what are some sneaky ways that emotional abuse can rear its ugly head that we may not exactly know that we're actually doing that shit, especially as men. So let's get into some examples of emotional abuse. And of course, we got to define it first.
Let's get into it.
So what is emotional abuse? It's techniques that are used to create and maintain a power imbalance in a relationship through exerting control and establishing a hierarchy. According to this licensed marriage and family therapist named Beverly Engel, who's also an author of several books, including one that's called The Emotionally Abusive Relationship. She describes emotional abuse in a relationship as any non-physical behavior that aims to control, punish, demean, or isolate another person. Some examples of emotional abuse would also be gaslighting or controlling, intimidation, humiliation, emotional blackmail, or invasion of property and privacy. I think we've all seen examples of that shit, whether it's in our relationship or close proximity, right?
Absolutely.
So let's break some of these down one by one so we can just kind of highlight like what the hell exactly that we're talking about. I want to talk about this one, gaslighting, because I feel like it's the fucking worst one.
I feel like it's the most common.
It's Tinder. It's a soft spot for your boy as well.
It's definitely common.
But for those of you who don't know what gaslighting is, essentially at its, nuts and bolts, what it is essentially altering somebody's perspective of what exactly their reality is. Telling you one thing when the reality of the situation is something else. It's like almost like a seduction tactic.
Yeah.
So one common one that we see a lot, I won't speak for you, but one common one I see a lot is sometimes you'll see guys who say like to keep a girl close, he'll put out the promise that he gonna marry her or that you the most important thing in my life. I can't lose you. Like you my everything. But at the same time, you fucking other bitches. You coming in and out the crib whenever you feel like it. You're not making a full commitment to marriage, even though you hanging it over her head. Like I ain't get the ring yet, but you know I'm gonna marry you one day, girl. Like stop playing.
Yeah, you know you're my wife, right? Like,
so that gaslighting tactic, or maybe something as a woman or a male that you feel is true, having a partner that is constantly telling you like, yo, yeah, that's not the case. So it's that ingraining, that lying, that constant nurturing of a false reality that really like hits hard. That is like, you don't know up from down, left or right. And you kind of get left in a situation where you're like, I don't know what the fuck is real. You done took my emotions for a roller coaster ride and I have no idea whether or not the ride has stopped. You
don't know whether or not to react, overreact. You don't know whether or not you're up and down. Yeah, like you said, it's a roller coaster. It's crazy.
So another example of that would be controlling. And a lot of times in relationships, we'll see controlling be in the form of controlling somebody's time and controlling somebody's access to people, things, and opportunities outside your relationships. Have you ever had a situation where you felt like you've ever been or a woman was controlling in that aspect, not wanting you to have friends, not wanting you to fill out for that job, wanted you to be like, yo, I want to spend all my time with you. Why you got to go hang out with your brothers?
Yes. No, I'm about to get into. Of course I have.
You don't say.
Of course I have. Yeah, it's a very, very fucked up tactic. Definitely been there before. Definitely when they start using so you rather chill with your boys than me. So you care care about your brothers more than me. That topic in itself just kind of feels like, what? Why the fuck are we even here?
Yeah.
Like, oh, so your brothers are more important than me. All right, fine. Go ahead. Right, if something happened to me, don't feel bad. Like, yo, what? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I guess I'll just sit here and watch TV until you get back, huh?
Yeah. Oh, so you're just going to leave me inside, huh? Like, yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be fine. You know what? It's weird. Yo, it's weird as shit. Like, I know we're on this topic and the gaslighting and the controlling and the manipulation and everything else. It's so weird. And it's almost comical to a sense when you get out of that and you get past it and you look back and you're able to identify certain things. It's like, damn, yo, like you were really a piece of shit. Like, yo.
But it really make it hard, like, to identify yourself in that situation, right? Because you kind of look at yourself and you be on some shit like, how many times did I acquiesce to this person's feelings? Like, you know what? I want to go out and hang out with the boys. It's all like, oh, you just going to leave me here by yourself? And how many times you be like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to stay.
Get that text like, you know what? I'm going to just chill inside. Like,
yeah, man, I can't make it or some shit like that. And then when it's over, you kind of look back on some shit like, yo, I really like bent and contorted myself in any which way just to support this fucking relationship. It's tough.
No, the worst thing in the world to do, as you heard me say before, if you ever feel like you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Like, if you feel like you have to contort every single piece of yourself to make it work, then you're absolutely doing too much. It's not supposed to be that way. And if it ever feels like it's that way, you need to leave the situation. Or at least find yourself. Because the most important thing in a relationship is never lose who you are. Like, I know certain times in a relationship you can feel like you're looking at yourself and you're like, yo, I don't even recognize this person anymore. And that can be a very dangerous thing because you've completely distorted whoever you are to fit into that person's world. And it's not supposed to be that way.
So let's talk about the next one, which is humiliation. This one is a kind of a sneaky one. I know we didn't get to the sneaky stuff part, but
buddy,
humiliation. I think sometimes we could be a little bit heavy-handed in our sense of humor.
Oh, Jesus!
And we don't necessarily know when we poking on a soft spot on somebody's underbelly that could like really be deteriorating their psyche or their self-esteem or how they feel about themselves, right? So I can't say that I've ever done it consciously, but I know like let's keep it a bean. Sometimes I can be like a hypercritical ass motherfucker.
Sometimes.
And you know this.
Sometimes.
You know this, right?
Hey man.
So like if I'm dealing with somebody and somebody says like they want to do something, they feel like it's in the betterment of their life, but I know they aren't proper, or at least I feel they aren't properly equipped for that particular endeavor. I've had a habit of throwing like little pot shots of like,
oh yeah,
what the fuck you think you about to do? Like you think you ain't even like smart enough to do X, Y, Z, or you don't have the gumption or the will or the drive to do that. And it's like, essentially what I'm doing is I'm portraying myself to say like, yo, I'm just telling you that I don't believe that you are equipped to do that thing right now. But the person that I'm saying it to is probably on some shit like, one, you don't believe in me, or two, you might be calling me inadequate, stupid. Like I'm not up for that particular task on something like that. But maybe a little bit of support behind my back could give me everything that I need to accomplish said task or accomplish said goal or mission or whatever. So humiliation, making fun of somebody that I was with, I don't think I ever done that. However, I have been victim of maybe poking fun at something that I felt like somebody wasn't necessarily good at. You know what I mean? I don't feel like you're good at that thing. And the fact that you think you good, I'm like, nah, let me remind you ain't fucking good at that at all.
All right, so I have a question for you, right? I think in some aspect or another, we've all been guilty of that. Could it be possible that it's almost, I don't want to say a defense mechanism, but in some ways it's more so like, you know, people fear what they don't understand, and more so they fear what they can't comprehend because they're not that. So it's like you see somebody that's vibrant or in that space of, I want to do that. Now, up until that point, they might have shown you things like, you can't do that. But the pure excitement somebody has and the pure fearlessness somebody has is almost enough to be like, nah, you can't do that.
I think it's like I kind of feel like I'm like a counterbalance. So it's like I'm gonna match your excitement for said endeavor with the realism or the realistic view of, based on the evidence that I have in real life, it would suggest that I don't think that you built for this shit that you talking about.
Okay.
That you can't do it. And that is extremely toxic behavior. Now, I'm aware of that, and I'm like, I practice not doing that shit at all anymore.
I was about to ask you, do you feel like everything needs a counterbalance?
Nah, I don't feel like everything needs a counterbalance. But I will also say that my nature is I'm a competitive person.
Okay.
Right? So it's on some shit like, no matter what, if I'm going for something, no matter what obstacle that I encounter, I feel like I'm eradicated and get to my goal no matter what. And I think what I do, or what I've done, and it's not an excuse, what I've done is I would verbally, purposely put a hurdle on your track for you to run over just to see if you built for that thing on some shit. So let's say you studying to be a blank. And you just went like a whole week without even opening up your book to study for your test or some shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I figured. I figured you wasn't really built for this shit. You was talking all that shit about how you about to be a RN. Now look at your ass sitting up here watching YouTube videos all fucking day and shit like that. What happened to that fucking RN test that you about to take?
All right.
You didn't really want that, did you?
My question.
I'm not justifying. Don't ask me a whole bunch of fucking questions and shit. I'm just saying.
I know.
That's how I used to be. Don't judge me on this shit.
I know you made the progress. What I will ask this is, do you feel like we both agree it's a toxic behavior, correct?
It is.
What I found about most toxic behaviors and a lot of toxic defense mechanisms is there always triggers for the person that's doing them. Example. If you have an abandonment issue, you are more likely to abandon the person first so you don't have to deal with the abandonment.
Yeah.
Or if you have a confidence issue, you are more likely to be extra or hypercritical of somebody else
who wants to stand out.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And a lot of times I would feel like, since we talk about humiliation, a lot of times when you trying to see somebody step into their best self, you might be cautious or insecure about, if you step into your best self, where does that leave room for me?
Yeah.
Like, if you really got your ideal scenario and you became that famous singer and you about to be on tour and you got signed to a record label and you got to fly out to LA to record that fucking track with XYZ producer, where the fuck am I going to be at? Still working this job, stacking the counter or stacking the shelves at Kmart or some shit. So it's a fear at the core of it. So yes, for sure. So what other examples do we have? So let's talk about the other example of emotional blackmail. Holding the past or holding things over your significant other for your own benefit and gain.
Oh man.
Can't say I'm guilty of this one, but I've seen I've seen some examples of this shit in the past, man. And a lot of times when you have a power dynamic in relationships, it's always one motherfucker in the relationship that feels like they're the prize. And if you have that grip on that being your reality, you have this idea that you can hang on to this person. You could hold over this person's heads that, hey man, your ass on that right. I'll go find the next one. You can believe that.
Jesus, I've definitely done this before. And it wasn't even like to that effect, but
It had some of that seasoning on it, though?
Absolutely. It was it definitely had some of those bacon bits in there. Like, it was actually awkward. So it was actually a relationship back in my mid-20s. Like, I was dealing with somebody back and forth, cheated. And I remember she cheated, whatever. I walked away. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. But I remember she came back, and this is the first time in any relationship where it was like, I can actually say, hand to God, I had no good intentions after that. It was like, all right, okay. You want to do that?
Okay.
Bet. I'm going to show you exactly what that shit felt like. And I remember I had to leave the relationship because I was like, yo, I don't even like the motherfucker I am right now. Like,
the person that you turned into was like,
yo,
not aligned with your identity.
No, not at all. I'm like, I'm tripping. Like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? And I remember after that relationship, and it's funny as hell because I actually spoke to a person not too long ago, doing well, thriving, whatever. But I was just like, yo, I was such a completely different person. And it was like, it had a lot to do with like the pain that I was still processing.
Yeah.
But it was also more like, in my head, I was like, I was Denzel in Training Day. You gonna do this shit to me?
Shoot program, nigga.
Like, yo, I was really
23-hour lockdown.
That's never like we're telling everybody right now, like, these things right here, if you ever find yourself dealing with somebody or in a relationship like this or going through these things, like, yeah, man, you need to find a way out. Exit strategies, like, they might not be the easiest to come by, but they're so necessary.
I felt like that example you just gave is very interesting, but it came from a place of there was an infraction that happened, and then based on that, you put yourself on a program that was like, you know what? I've been hurt. I got hurt to my core. So my value for you is kind of like at my disposal.
Hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people, right?
Hurt people hurt people.
I think the other side of that is, like I said, with the power dynamic, one person feeling like, sometimes you see it with like athletes or celebrities or something like that. When you're the type of person who has a lot of options, and maybe you with a spouse that does not have a lot of options, there's always like this underlying ability to kind of say like, okay, this person is doing this, or there's something about that person I don't like, or I'm talking about my significant other now, that you say like, why the fuck do I got to deal with this? I could just go over there and like, the shit is like way fucking easier. I don't understand why I got to put up with your bullshit. It's one thing to feel that way. It's one thing to feel that way. It's a whole nother narcissistic ass way to be on some shit. Like, I'm going to let you know that, like, yo, man, if you don't fix such and such and such, like, I'm finna call Melanie. Like, I don't even, like, you tripping. My other girl is like, she cooks, she cleans, she don't give me no headache, she don't do this, that, and the third. And then it's sort of like this training of like, yo, act right or get left.
You know what's actually funny about that dynamic though? Real quick. Everything looks better on one end. And I was looking at this reel one time from tonight's conversation. Shout out to them. Provided a lot of contact. Mm-hmm. But when you have somebody that just fits into your situation effortlessly and you don't really have to do a lot of posturing, of course it looks appealing. Right. Like when you have somebody that understands your situation, let's say I'm in a relationship, she knows that, so she gonna play her part. Of course it looks appealing until
responsibility sets in.
There's a difference between the starter and the backup.
Right.
And of course the backup looks good in practice, You practicing against the 2s and the 3s. You look phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm about to put you in the game. And then you get in the game. And they throw like 3 picks.
You look like hot garbage.
Like, oh, okay. I understand now. Like, you got to start seeing people's value while it's present rather than past tense. I feel like people have a big issue with that. Like,
it's the theory of the fan versus the forever.
Yeah.
And I heard about this on the Dear Future Wifey podcast. And he was saying, like, there's a difference between somebody who's your fan and somebody who's your forever. And the problem is we get in relationships and we want our forevers to act like fans.
Yeah.
So, like, you want somebody to be your everything. They fit into your personality well. They understand your jokes. They got the similar interests. Y'all like the same food. Y'all like all this other shit like that. But they clap for you every single time you make a basket. They cheer for you. They go out and buy your jerseys and shit like that.
Yeah.
But there's no responsibility. Once the game is over, they go home and do their thing. You go home and do your fucking thing.
Yeah.
When you got somebody that's your forever,
oh God,
they with you at practice. They with you at the games. They with you through rehab. They with you through everything. And when you score, they clap. And when you don't score, they clap too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem is we be wanting like people who are our forevers to be acting like fans, and that's not the case.
No, it's not.
Because forever people, they come with like holding you accountable and stuff like that the fan will never do. So,
yeah, no. A fan is always looking at it from the aspect of, yeah, you're doing great.
Convenience.
But your forever is going to be like, that was good. You could do better.
You could do better. You had a great game.
Could
you imagine having a wife and like you score like 3 touchdowns and you go home and she like,
you could have had 4.
You missed a hole twice.
Yeah, you could have had 4. Could have had 5.
Like, fuck.
Like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But a dude might be able to say like, yeah, my side chick, she don't give me all this headache or whatever like that. But your side chick don't want what's best for you neither, brother.
Yeah,
like,
temporary.
Anywho.
Moving on. What we got? Invasion of property?
Invasion of property, invasion of privacy.
All right, let me ask you a question real quick before we delve into this, because I've been here once.
Yeah.
I've been here once. I feel like it wasn't until after I did it that I understood the phrase ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss.
Like, in some shades, in some places, like, as much as you feel like you know, people have a certain entitlement, and I used to feel that way too. People have a certain entitlement, like, nah, I need to know. Oh, passwords? Yeah, I want to know. Oh, you wanna follow me? Yeah, I wanna follow you. Like, nah, you know what? You might not want to do that. You might not want to fucking do that.
Yeah, I can't say, man. I've been through a girl phone one time in my life. I didn't like what I saw. So I would say ignorance is definitely bliss. I remember an interview that Neo had gave on a Breakfast Club one time. He was like, would you ever want to know if your wife was cheating on you or some shit like? He's like, no. I observed the right to be ignorantly blissful in my life the way it's going. Like, I'm happy. Like, why the fuck would I want to know that?
Mm-hmm.
But like, invasion of privacy is really, really steeped in insecurity.
Yeah.
Sometimes people make you insecure. There's no lie about that. But if you do have a reason to be insecure, then you have a reason to have a conversation as well. Listen, a lot of people don't want to have the talk. They just want the proof. I think if you took anybody's relationship that they was in, married or not, and you went through that person's phone, you probably would find some shit that would be like, yo,
absolutely.
Come on, son. Like, what the fuck are we doing here type shit. But to me, when it comes to emotionally abusing somebody in regards to their privacy, I think it rears its ugly head when you start talking about their access to the outside world. Ooh. And having that you want to be some type of arbiter of who they can contact, what they can say online, what pictures can they post online. Take that down. I don't like the way that who can comment on your pictures, who you can and cannot follow,
who you can talk to, who you can't talk to. You can't talk to them. Oh no, I don't like them. You can't talk to them.
That shit is strange to me. And like, yo, you know what I found that was fucking interesting when I was on the dating scene? females that got their profiles online on private. We see that shit a lot, right? Yeah. I was told by one female that, I keep my shit private because there's certain exes that I don't want to have all up in my business or some shit like that. But I ran into a female that told me like an ugly other side to her, which is like, I keep my shit private because my man want me to have my shit private. And it's like,
that's wild.
And it's so like, if that's y'all shit, cool.
Mm-hmm.
If your man was my homie, I'll be on some shit like, why?
It's weird, yeah.
Why? Like, what would be the reason for that?
Why?
Like, how does that conversation go? Like, yo, babe, you got that Instagram page? Make sure that shit private.
You know what's actually very,
For
very...
what?
Now, here's the other part of that, right? The unknown is always more alluring and attractive than the known. So do you feel like her page being private is going to stop anything?
No.
So if I know, because your page is private, right?
Yeah.
Your profile picture ain't.
Profile picture, right?
So if you're attractive in your profile picture and I want to see more.
The DMs is coming.
Like, what do you, like, come on.
You got a Twitter handle.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yo, Twitter. Yo, stay the fuck off Twitter, yo.
I don't second that emotion. I love Twitter.
Yo, I love Twitter too. I love it in spurts, bro. I love it in fucking spurts.
Amazing.
But, yo, if you're, you know what? Somebody told this to me a long time ago too. If you are secure enough to get somebody that's bad or get somebody that's attractive, you should be secure enough in yourself to maintain that. And if you're not, then you need to step out of that arena. Because if I know my woman is attractive, I have to know what comes with that. At the same time, this is my woman I'm talking about. So there's a certain level of respect and a certain level of understanding we have.
Right.
But in no way, shape, or form am I going to have you conform to a nun. I didn't like you when you was a fucking nun. No. So, no, be you. And that's the theme of the whole shit. Like, yo, be you. Be who the fuck you are. And if your person can't understand that, maybe that's not the person for you.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be with somebody that's insecure.
Imagine fucking with somebody who said, I fuck with you, but your creativity is too magnetic and it gets you too much attention. I need you to calm that down.
Imagine fucking with somebody and they're like, I need you to tone down your charisma or your charismatic energy or something like that. And so like you taking away like a personality trait that is essentially me.
I can't shut that off.
You can't shut it off. So you really have to find somebody that's built for that.
Yeah.
But with that being said, though, that's a whole nother conversation about like there is a way you have to conduct yourself when you are in a relationship that is like, you could be charismatic, you could be a people person, you could be all up in chicks' face, you could be all up in dudes' face, but where are your boundaries at?
Exactly.
So let's have a quick conversation about how there are these hidden emotional abuses that sometimes that we aren't aware of that we might do on a regular basis and not know that it's chipping away at a person's psyche. Ooh. Jokes that hurt. Poking fun at your person's personality, appearance, or insecurities. I think we've all been guilty of this. It becomes abusive when you do shit over and over and over again, especially without any recognition. But like, if your baby got a little extra weight on them, or they cockeyed or some shit. They got a crooked smile. They got some.
Hey, yo,
I've seen dudes out there who have made fun of their girls for maybe not having like a body per se. And, it's funny as a spectator. But sometimes you look at the women be on some shit like, that shit can't land well.
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, like, you got a girl that got a flat chest or some shit, some shit like, man, if you don't get your beach things out of here type shit, it's like, yo.
Oh, man.
Maybe that's the nature of a relationship, but I would imagine if that goes on, like, constantly
all the time.
Yeah. Like, come on, son.
If you, like, just got to take everything and be realistic. If somebody told you something every day, joking or not joking, for the next 5 years, yeah, you'd probably develop some type of thing about it.
Yeah.
And whether it's a joke or not, you know, we always have the saying, jokes contain 50% of truth.
It does.
So if I'm joking about something, one, it's true. Two, it's noticeable. So, yeah, you can't continue to say and poke the same spot and not expect some type of reaction from it, which in turn is why people do certain things. Like, we can look at somebody and be like, yo, you don't need that. Well, you know, I was in a relationship where this, and that was said. Really?
Wow.
Damn. Shit.
The thing I see common now is, or at least online, is I see a lot of dudes talking to their girl like their girl, your homie, and shit might be innocent. You check me if I'm fucked up, right? It might be innocent, but you'll hear dudes be on some shit like, bruh, talking to the girl now. They be like, bruh, yo, you dumb as hell. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, shut your dumb ass up. And it's sort of like, damn.
Well,
where the fuck is this relationship going to go?
One, you know me. I don't like, and this is no cap, really. I really don't like using derogatory words. I might say some shit like, yo, you okay? You all right? But I'll never question your intelligence or say some shit out of bounds.
But you've heard it before, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
that chips away over time.
It's cringy. It's cringy as shit. But
how do you feel about the whole idea of should jokes in relationships about a person's insecurities, if they have more than one, be off limits? Like, I know for a fact that you're insecure about that thing.
All right, you gotta check me whether or not this is toxic or not. I might be wrong, but you gotta check me on it. The only way I feel like that flies is if I compliment you twice as much as I fuck with you. Like, I might do something to fuck with you, but I need you to understand I love it. That's why I fuck with you about it.
Nah, yeah, it ain't toxic. Like, it ain't toxic per se, but it flirts with the line.
Yeah, it's definitely going to flirt with the line. Like, you know, I remember growing up, and you got to understand, this is a beautiful moment for me because now everybody's catching up to me. I love it. You know, when you're young and motherfuckers be like, yo, your hairline, blah blah blah. Like, yo, we at the age now where everybody, welcome to the fucking party. Everybody here now. So I've heard enough of them where it's just like, you see people, you see y'all out here doing all of this shit and wearing hats. It's like, yeah, I remember those days, man. You just gotta just embrace it.
Shit,
just fucking embrace it. But, you know, like we talked about off air, you know, you gotta be mindful that everybody doesn't respond, nor do they have the same mental and emotional fortitude as you might have.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with somebody, specifically your partner, because you got to understand your partner's your partner, but your partner is always going to be looking for you for approval.
Approval is strong.
But
I would say like support.
Support.
Yeah.
Approval.
Yeah.
Acceptance. Something. Like, they come to you, you're the rock.
Yeah.
And then when the rock is throwing pebbles, it's like, well, damn. All right.
Like, yeah, the whole term poke fun, like something about poking fun kind of strikes me as like almost bullying, like
yeah,
like a bullyish thing.
It's like, you remember back in the day, the whole, babe, do I look fat in this? Like, no, you don't look fat in that. You look fat in everything.
Yeah, you look fat in everything.
Like, you can't say that shit so many times as to where it's like.
Now, here's the thing though. I don't know their fucking name, but it's like a couple on Instagram. It's like two Spanish motherfuckers, a Spanish dude and this girl, and they be making fun of each other all the time, and it's hilarious. And I would say, like, the sense of humor has to have some awareness to it.
Yeah.
So if it's an insecurity that your significant other has, they're aware of it, but they also joke about it too.
Yeah.
I can see how you might yourself joke about it as well. But you better be the motherfucker that also builds up that insecurity as well too.
Absolutely.
And despite of that insecurity, you like on some shit like, I don't care about that shit.
Also,
you care less about your
you
crooked
also
eyes.
have to be the motherfucker that if you go and give it, you got to be willing to take it.
Oh, for sure.
Like if I start gunning you for, why you always wearing animal print, like you can gun me for, I don't know, does Adidas make anything else besides sweatpants? Like, you can gun me for it.
Yeah.
Respectable. And I'm letting you know right now, game on. All right, you started this. Let's go. But I feel like there needs to be some type of playfulness, but I feel like your relationship dictates where that line is, and everybody's line is not the same.
Right, not the same.
So everybody says, oh, I want a Martin to my Gina. Like, yeah, everybody ain't going to have that relationship.
Right. Because sometimes you ain't Martin. Or sometimes you ain't Gina.
And
so don't try to be like that.
Sometimes she ain't Gina.
Number 2, hitting emotional abuse. Jealousy. Now, in all fairness, both men and women get jealous. But more times than not, when it's verbalized, it tends to be more of our female counterparts that verbalize their jealousy.
I disagree.
Hold on. We are jealous as well. When we display our jealousy, it's usually very, very subtle. It usually comes in the form of actions.
Subtle?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's usually more subtle. Mm-hmm. It usually comes in the form of actions. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, at least in my experience and for what I've read, usually when jealousy is verbalized, it usually comes from our female queens. Jealousy is an emotional abusive tactic over time. And you think that because that you're being jealous, that you're either just being insecure or whatever, but think about what you're doing to your partner. Mm-hmm. You are essentially holding them hostage to your feelings.
Huh. All right. So, if we're going down this tunnel.
Yeah, because you disagree. Tell me.
I do. I feel like there's another term in there that could be thrown in there too. Because I always feel like there's a thin line between jealousy and territorial. I feel like, me personally speaking for myself, as a man, I've never been jealous of another man at all. Never. I've been territorial simply because I know what the fuck y'all niggas do.
Right.
Because I am one of y'all, so I know what the fuck y'all do. That's why I always say the whole line of, oh, that's your friend? All right, do this test. Text or call him one night, act like you drunk, and see if he jump at it. If he don't, cool. If he do, you know where the fuck he stand.
Yeah.
But as far as jealousy being verbalized simply by women, I feel like...
I didn't say simply by women. I said more times than not. Yeah.
More times than not. All right. I feel like I could debate whether or not it depends on the person. Because if you are dealing with a man that's a little bit more jealous than territorial, I feel like he'll express that. But if you're dealing with a man that's more territorial than jealous, that's where I feel like the subtleties come out.
I feel like being territorial is a subtle sign of jealousy, though.
But I feel like they're completely different.
I
feel like territorial is more so, I'm not jealous of him. I am aware of what I feel like he's after. I feel like jealousy is more so aimed at your partner. I feel like the jealousy comes more so like, oh, what he got that I ain't got. Some shit like that.
I guess I kind of understand what you're saying.
Where I feel like territorial is more like, yo, watch this nigga.
But I feel like a man would only become territorial if he felt like, okay, watch this nigga. You wouldn't say that about any dude that didn't have some type of access or possibility or capability to even work his way into y'all situation. So it's sort of like, if I don't recognize you as a threat, I wouldn't even be territorial, jealous, or anything about you.
See, now that's where we differ at. Because I feel like territorial goes into the response of, it's territory.
This mine.
It's more so like, fuck what he brings. The proximity is a little bit alarming now. And the frequency is starting to bother me. So now it's like, all right.
Hold on. I want to change my answer. Yeah, they two separate things. Because now that I think about it, yes, jealousy and being territorial is like two different things. Of course.
Like, I feel like the jealousy is more so like, you see me having a conversation with somebody. What was that about? Nothing. Oh yeah, cool. Whereas like territorial is more like, I see you having the same conversation with the same motherfucker.
But I feel like jealousy will rear its ugly head where I was having a conversation with such and such. And it was like, oh, what y'all talking about? Oh, we were talking about like that thing that I love that I can't talk to you about. And it's like, oh shit, y'all both into the same thing.
Now I feel like jealousy is manufactured though.
What you mean?
I feel like true jealousy, is birthed from something. Like, as we always had the conversations before and shit, like, there are certain things and certain lines you don't cross. And even as a man, as a single man, I know there are certain lines with my female best friend regarding her relationship I can't cross. Or I choose not to cross. Simply because as a man, I know how it might appear. And there's certain lines and shit like you can't get into. Like, I shouldn't be having conversations with you about certain shit you haven't had about with your man. Period. Just period.
All right, so
like, all right, give you a perfect example, right? I shouldn't be the person you call in crisis because he's not available. That's a flag.
Yeah.
And in moment, real time, I was like, yo, where's such and such at? He's asleep. Wake him the fuck up. No, he's asleep. I'm telling you, it's not going to end well.
That's going to be a whole nother conversation that we're going to have. But I would ask a certain question based off even that whole interaction. But that's neither here nor there. But let's not act like jealousy only rears its head in somebody outside the relationship or a potential threat or the opposite sex relationships and all this stuff. Sometimes that shit rears its ugly head in career opportunities or things that you want for yourself or things that you're trying to do. You might have a spouse who is, you know, about to get their health right, about to get their body right physically or some shit like that. They going to the gym 5 times a week, eating right, doing their thing, getting money or XYZ, and you not. There is a jealousy about the lifestyle that your partner lives as well. If you feel like you aren't included in that, or you possibly can't keep up with that certain lifestyle or ambitions for a lifestyle. And that, I feel, sometimes can be the easy way that jealousy seeps into a relationship. And what makes that dangerous is that I feel like all jealousy in a romantic relationship breeds down the lines some level of resentment where you look at this person like, it started off as jealousy, but now it's just to the fact that I just don't like that you like that. Yeah. I don't like the fact that you have a potential that I feel like if you reach that, I could never be on that same level with you.
Or you feel left behind.
Anytime you're in a relationship with somebody, your spouse is going to be a mirror image of you. Or they're going to, not a mirror image of you, they're going to hold up a mirror to you.
Yeah.
So if you're lacking in something and your partner isn't, anytime you look at them, you're going to be constantly reminded, like, I really don't have that thing together, or I'm really lacking in that particular area. And the fact that you are thriving there, I'm looking at you like, yo, I fucking don't like that shit.
But you want to know what combats that? not to get in this whole Dr. Seuss bag. The purpose of a relationship is to match certain parts. So they might be thriving and succeeding in certain things. But there are other things that they don't have and they're not good at that they see in you, and they might be looking at you the same way.
Right.
So it's sort of like that's the point of where it's almost like that's the difference for me between the jealousy and the territory. Like, I'm never going to be jealous of my partner or anybody else. You point out the things I need to get better at. Cool. But I know there are damn sure some things you look at me for and be like, yo, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here.
Yeah. And I feel like a good solve to that problem is make your partner aware of that shit.
Absolutely.
Because it might be a endearing quality or some shit that you let your partner know, like, yo, I really, instead of me being jealous of it, let me tell you how much I admire that thing. It's right. Like, oh shit, I'm inspiring you to do that. Like, let me keep that shit going. I can show you how to get this bag.
Exactly.
So, bam. As we proceed to asking somebody to be around 24/7. Another sign of emotional abuse, or another example of potential hidden emotional abuse. God damn it, I've been down this road before. Now, with that being said, everybody has their own different attachment styles.
Oh, man.
All right. Some people like to be around 24/7. I'm a Pisces. I'm an escape artist by trade. I need my space here and there.
You don't say.
You're a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers are notoriously like, yo, where you at? Why you not here? You better be home when I get there. I'm trying to chill. Capricorns are notoriously like that, bro.
January.
Maybe. I don't know.
January.
But the whole trying to be around you 24/7, while it could be like, yo, my baby just like being around me. Like, what she want me to do? She want to hang out again. How many times you had to text your homies like, yo, I can't make it. Or I'm going to watch the game in the crib.
Yeah.
When the need or the desire for your significant other to be around you all the time bleeds into it affecting relationships outside of your romantic relationship, you might be in a situation where there's some emotional abuse going on right there. If you feel a fear or an anxiety about the possibility of making plans in the future of like, yo, I want to hang out with my homies, I want to hang out with my brothers, I want to hang out with my family, and that's not going to involve you coming along too, and there's an anxiety coming along with that, it may be a sign that the boundaries that you've set up inside your relationship hasn't been properly established, and that this person has a dependency on your presence being around all the fucking time. And that puts a lot of pressure on you and your emotions. Like, damn, after a while, I'm not sure this person could support themselves psychologically if I'm not around for a night or two or whatever. So have you ever had a situation where a person just desired your attention all the time, and it was like, yo, can I get some space and some grace?
Nah, I have no idea what this is.
Sure. Okay,
yeah. This is why when you said that initial one, I was like, oh no. Because I find myself more in the space of, yeah, I want to see you. But, you know, I believe in close combat. I believe in close quarters and the effects. So I'm also like, I want to see you, but give me space. Give me space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I want to see you, but I also want to miss you too.
Oh God. Yeah. You know what I don't like? I'm gonna get back on topic. I don't like leaving your house and getting home and being like, yo, I miss you. No, the fuck you don't. I literally just left. There's no fucking way that happened. I don't believe you.
Fucking come back and crow. Hey, stranger.
Like, yo, what type of weird shit are you on? But I will definitely say, yeah, I've been there before. It's not, it's draining. Honestly, it really is draining because it's almost like I want to phrase this a certain way because I feel like I don't want to be villainized or anything for it. But if so be it.
So be it.
I don't fucking care. I don't want it to come off as I don't care or I don't miss you. I want you to understand, like, I need that recoup period of maybe I just need to be alone in my thoughts. And it's not a matter of me wanting to shut you out, but more for self-care and self-preservation for myself. Like, yeah, I need to get back into a regular routine without you.
Right.
Like, I feel like this is the biggest red flag I've ever run into is when you meet somebody and then they encompass everything in their life around you rather than like
having some individuality.
Yeah, like keep
themselves.
your life. Like, oh, nah, I'm going to stay with my man. I don't want to go out. No, go out with the bitch. I mean, go out with your girls. Go out with your girls. Go. Have fun. Please. Go.
Please.
Like, when it's our time, it's our time.
You sure it's going to be like 2 or 3 out?
Oh,
hey, man, take all the time you need.
Listen,
man.
I'm about to sit in here and watch everything on Netflix. But yeah, have fun. Enjoy yourself. And when it's our time, it's our time. But I don't want you to feel like everything has to revolve around me because I'm not going to make everything revolve around you.
I'm not sure if I'm saying it. I'm not sure I've thought about this, but it's now coming to me hearing you talk. I don't care like how good your friendship is with your significant other. I don't give a fuck how tight and homies y'all is. But to me, as a man, there is always some performative aspect about being a boyfriend or a husband. Like you want to have yourself kept up with your hygiene, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You want to be dressed, appropriately. You want to look desirable.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. You also want to make your woman feel like she's desired and that you are attracted to her.
Mm-hmm.
But goddammit, sometimes you want to break from that shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to sit on the fucking couch, turn on YouTube or turn on Undisputed with Skip and Shannon or some shit like that. It just be like, I'm just going to sit here in my fucking drawers and eat fucking cereal and just browse Instagram all day.
And just be good.
And just chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about like how I look right now. I'm not worried about like what the fuck I'm wearing right now. I'm not worried about what the fuck we got to do later, making sure the house is clean, all this other shit. It's a little bit of a performance there that you kind of like need a break from it. And it's also like life is about self-discovery. When you go out into the world, you kind of want to like find things out for yourself and who you are as a man and who you are as a person. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of hard to do that if you got a fucking wingman every corner that you turn in life and shit. So it's like, yo,
space at?
Can I get some space to like figure it out or some shit? Can I get a break from you? Can I get a break from your ass whining and complaining all day about how much you hate this character on Real Housewives or some shit? So it's like, god damn, like, god damn it, you suffocating me. But yeah, asking somebody to be around all the time is like, yo, chill the fuck out. So what the hell can we do about these displays of emotional abuse? Well, I've did some Googling and I read this website, solacewomansaid.org. They had a very interesting article on how you could kind of combat or deal with emotional abuse. And they came up with a list of a couple things that you can ask yourself and assess and track if you're in a relationship to see whether or not you are dealing with emotional abuse. So one of the questions that you can ask yourself is, what do I think a healthy relationship is? Like, step outside your relationship, take some private time with yourself, and then ask yourself, what do I feel a healthy relationship looks like? And then once you come up with that answer, assess whether or not the relationship you in fits that criteria or not. And if it doesn't, it may be time to alter some things, change some boundaries, or if it's time to leave, it's time to leave. Another thing is to take a step back and think about what the ideal looks like for you. How do you spend time together and how do you spend time apart? that kind of goes into what we're talking about as far as like dealing with your partner's attachment styles. You might have a person that wants to chill a lot. You might have a person that wants to have their space a lot. Y'all got to kind of have a negotiation about your space versus our space and kind of set those boundaries so there's no, miscommunication going forward. Ask yourself a question when you're in a relationship. I'm with this person, but what about this relationship doesn't feel right? That's a key right there.
That's a big one.
That's not some shit that I be even thinking about. Like, I'm sitting here like, everything going good, but something ain't right. Nah, I'm just gonna be good. Like, you got to bring up those conversations about like, there's something in here that could be changed for the better for my benefit, and I need to advocate for that right now.
You gotta ask the tough questions because a lot of people find that it's a lot better to leave things unsaid, but I'm telling you, it's not.
It really isn't. Even when it's uncomfortable, that's one thing I learned. Advocate for yourself, because you can be damn sure that most people are going to advocate on their own behalf as well.
Absolutely.
And ask yourself, I'm in a relationship with this person. Am I able to comfortably have a conversation about my concerns? If you don't, there might be a point in where y'all went down the rabbit hole too far of psychological abuse. If you feel like, yo, it's something on my mind, but I can't talk to Jeff about this shit, it's like, yo, come on. You're doing yourself a disservice. But what are some signs that you can spot about yourself or someone that's in your circle close to you about whether or not they may be dealing with emotional abuse? We felt like that would be important to bring up. 2 is if you find yourself or somebody that you're close to in a relationship with somebody and they're apologizing a lot. Like, I'm sorry, babe. Like, I didn't mean to overcook your food or some shit like that. I know you very anal about the texture of your salmon or some shit, or
salmon.
Excuse me?
Salmon.
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 Well, it's salmon. Well, it is salmon. You say salmon like a bear would say salmon.
Salmon.
It's salmon.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, if you find yourself apologizing a lot in your relationship, sorry I didn't come home. I didn't make it home in 45 minutes when I'm normally here around that time or whatever. Another one is being distant in relationships. That's not yours. So if you find yourself in a situation where your friendships are struggling or relationships with your family are struggling because of your relationship, there's a good chance you need to step back and assess, like, yo, what the fuck is going on here and shit. If somebody, you usually see it in people that's close to you, because sometimes you're too close to the forest to see the trees. But like when you get like texts or phone calls from your homie, like, yo, I can't make it. Oh, wow, what happened to shit like that? Oh, me and
such and such.
Me and Ebony about to go out to blah 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 blah. It's like, yo, I don't mean to be up in y'all business, but nigga, you done fucking chill with her like every Sunday. You can't come out to bowling for one goddamn Sunday.
Nah.
It's like, nah, man, she gonna get mad. It's like,
so the fuck what?
Okay, my guy. Whatever. But yeah, if your other relationships outside your relationship is struggling, then it's time to definitely assess like what's happening. Yeah, and if you need help, of course you can talk to any trustworthy friends, any trustworthy family members, or find somebody who's a impartial source of support out there, whether or not that be a counselor, a therapist, or whomever who doesn't have a biased take in regards to what's going on inside your relationship. Seek help, man. I started going to therapy with my wife. It's been a game changer, so I recommend that shit for everybody.
Yeah. For
real. But yeah, man, what's love got to do with it? Story of Ike and Tina Turner. Ike was a piece of work. And the emotional abuse in this movie was heavy. It took a lot for her psychologically to bring herself out of that mud, no pun intended, like a lotus flower. And we see exactly what she had to go through in this movie. But always advocate for yourself and set your own boundaries.
Yes.
There's nobody in this world that is going to be able to love you the same way that you love you. And you have to keep that in mind. I don't care how much you love this person. You got to look out for you first, because I guarantee you the other person is going to look out for themselves.
Absolutely.
As well. Any closing thoughts, my brother?
Just overall, like, looking at this story, like, you know, it shows a lot of, like, mental and physical abuse takes so many forms, and sometimes, you know, it might be easy for somebody to just say, like, oh, well, you know, you could just do this, you could just do that. Sometimes it's not as easy as it seems. So for anybody out there that may be going through the same thing or maybe going through something similar, seek help. First step is always the most important. Realize that you're in a relationship that's toxic and seek help.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mono Matters on Instagram. Make sure you shoot us a follow. I think we up over 1,100 followers at this point.
Yeah, 1,103, something like that.
Shit grew real quick.
You have any shout outs or anything like that?
Any shout outs, man? Shout out to my unborn son, Severe. Daddy can't wait to see you.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to everybody that's doing their thing in Newark too, man. Newark is on the up and coming. Newark, New Jersey, we talking about, man.
It's coming.
The nightlife scene, the food, the culinary scene, the art scene is really popping like that. I love what's going on with the city. So shout out to that. Shout out to my man El Plaga Negra, artist out of New Brunswick. He's got a show coming up, and Mono Matters might be involved in that.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Rhythm and the Rebel Show on Instagram, who's a hip hop and lifestyle podcast. Shout out to my man Jazz, who runs that vehicle. One of the best to ever do it, the podcasting godfather, who was on the podcasting shit before anybody even knew what podcast was.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to the listeners if you made it this far. Peace.
Shout out DPG. Still
Peace,
around. Shout out all the single ladies out there. I'm single. Hey, how you doing? Shout out to the homie Artie Bird, aka Artie on Instagram. EP dropping soon. Y'all get ready.
That boy can sing his ass off.
Y'all get ready. Shout out Tea Time, June 24th. Got a mingle and a speed dating thing. Y'all need to check that out too. And
so speaking of single ladies and speed dating,
oh shit,
you did mention the fact that you want to try a little bit of an experiment.
I did.
Is this something? Do you care to let our listeners know what this experiment is and how you will be implementing this into your life going forward, sir?
At this time, though, okay. we'll just know that the experiment will be taking place in about a 2-week span, and we're gonna run it till about, let's say, the end of August. End of August, I'll let you know exactly what I've found.
Okay.
And we'll fill everybody in on what was the experiment about afterwards. So stay tuned.
All right. That being said, I'll say, ladies, stay away from married men. We out. Be good.